Hello, hello, and welcome back for what will hopefully be a hag-smashing good time as we ply the passages of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. Yes, we've got our team chosen here. It's Karen Murphy, Half-Cock Jack, Dr. Strange, and Madeline Usher. They are assembled and all relatively stress-free, and the time has come for us, I think, to play a little game of Hunt the Hag. Now, customarily, of course, Hunt the Hag can only be played in the woods of Maryland, and can only be documented found footage style with frequent close-ups of terrified, snot-dripping faces, but I'm going to buck convention here and try to put together something that's actually watchable with regard to a hag hunt, and although I won't promise that, if things go south, I won't resort to wandering around screaming, Josh? Josh? Josh! Over and over, because I completely might if things go really badly. But, that's not my intent going in. We may get to that eventually, but, the script doesn't include that currently, so unless there's a major script change revision halfway through, you won't have to worry about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and head on down to the hamlet and get started. A couple maintenance tasks we want to do so that we can ensure that, unlike our predecessor, our game of Hunt the Hag actually has a fucking hag in it at some point, and it's not a whole lot of build-up to no delivery. So in order to facilitate that, we're going to be upgrading some skills. I've got 13,000 gold here, and we're going to spend pretty much the bulk of it on upgrading some abilities. Now, when we're going to fight the hag, we do want to try and get some things that can hit in the back row. So I am going to pick up Iron Swan for old Karen Murphy just for this mission. So we're going to get rid of the Yop. She won't be using that this particular fight. We're going to give her Iron Swan, Wicked Hack. She's probably going to have If It Bleeds, because If It Bleeds is real good. And then, of course, Bleed Out. And that's got Karen sorted. Let's bring Half-Cock Jack over. We just want to take a look at his abilities as well. Point-blank shot cannot hit the third row, which is a problem. Duelist Advance can, which is good. Open Vein likewise cannot hit the third row. So we want abilities that can target something in the third slot, like, say, Pistol Shot. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that. And we will probably swap that out before we come into the final fight. Old Doc Strange is already looking good. Sacrificial Stab can hit the third slot, and the reason I mention the third slot over and over is actually the hag hides behind a giant metal cauldron, so it's always best if you can do some damage into the rear parts of the party. Abyssal Artillery, also good. Weird Reconstruction, of course, and Vulnerability Hex. We already got max upgrades, so Dr. Strange is already sorted, locked, and ready to roll. Looks like old Madeline Usher is as well. Judgment, of course, can hit any position. Dazzling Light can only hit the first two, but that's fine. We can always go with Judgment. We're not going to stun the hag anyway. Divine Grace and Divine Comfort, of course. Stock abilities for the Seeker, or the Vestal, rather. She really can't go into battle without those two. We're also going to swing by the Blacksmith. We want to make sure everybody's gear is as upgraded as possible. This is where it's going to get expensive. We're going to go for some more furious and enhanced weaponry for our troopers, and the cash on this, as you can see, is really piling up quick, but I feel that it's probably going to be worth it in the long run. Dr. Strange and Madeline Usher are going to have to do without the armor and weapon upgrades, because we just aren't going to be able to afford to upgrade them and then also provision the mission adequately. So we're heading down to the embarkation point. Our team is already pre-selected, so everybody pile on in there. Here's our wizened hag. There she is, folks, wandering around the Maryland woods, making creepy little sort of twig statues and hanging them from the trees. Why the hell a witch would do that, I honestly don't know. But, well, let's get down in the dungeon. Maybe we can ask her, hey, what's up with that? Not sure she's going to be, necessarily willing to cooperate and answer, but we can always ask. It won't hurt to ask. They always say there's no such thing as a stupid question, am I right? That's patently not true. There's a lot of stupid questions. So we're going to take 3 shovels, a key. We are in the Weald, so let's grow with some medicinal herbs. Torches. I'm going to err on the side of caution and take more than I honestly think I'm going to need here. I've sort of went a little light on some of our upgrades just to make certain that we'd have plenty of available. I think 20 food. I think this is probably sufficient. So let's get stuck in here.
I had collected many rare and elusive volumes on ancient herbal properties.
Would you say ancient volumes of forgotten lore, perhaps? Perhaps curious and quaint volumes of forgotten lore.
Work was interrupted, however, by a singularly striking young woman who insisted on repeated calls to the house.
This was the striking young woman? You and I, sir, have very different opinions on what constitutes attractive, Mr. Narrator. Because, damn. Alright, well, the narrator's into kind of unconventional beauty, let's say. Good for you, Mr. Narrator. Good for you, buddy. Well, let's get our abilities. Make sure everybody has exactly everything equipped the way we want. We won't switch to Iron Swan, probably. You know what? I'm going to do it now. Arguably, the smarter decision would be to stick with Yop. I'm not going to because I know if I don't switch it now, I'll fucking forget. And I don't want to forget, so... Half-cocked Jack, we're going to do a little switcheroo for him as well. We're going to... You know, I don't really want to do that yet. Let's just hope I don't forget. So we're gonna have to gamble on my memory with Half-cocked Jack, which is foolhardy in the extreme. Gambling on my memory. You'd be better off betting fucking Powerball. I mean, seriously, I think your odds are better. We're gonna hope we can get some good scouting opportunities and perhaps save ourselves a little time, but given this layout, I'm pretty convinced the Hag is probably gonna be like right there. So that's what I'm gonna operate under that assumption. And go ahead and move in that general direction. Not entirely stoked that we found a thorny thicket right away. I did only bring thick shovels, and thorny thicket's very common in the Weald. I would prefer to not have to dig through one of those with my hands at some point. And so our first room has battle, and we got surprised. So things are not starting off particularly well for us. What do we want to kill? Let's kill the artillery? Yeah. Alright, so Karen Murphy with a rare miss. Things are not starting off especially well for us. We're in kind of a tough spot here. We could open vein or duelist advance. I think duelist advance is probably the smarter move. This can't get a kill unless it criticals. Let's just get Half-cocked Jack in the front, and then we can point-blank shot on our next turn, which almost will certainly get us a kill. And it has the added benefit of further pushing Madeline Usher towards the back where we need her. We're going to need Madeline on heal, so... Can't help but notice that the enemy are desperately focusing on Madeline Usher as well. It's going to be Abyssal Artillery for old Dr. Strange. No critical, but 8 damage is a solid contribution from the good doctor. Madeline's going to Divine Comfort, since the enemy are really sort of sticking it to her. We're going to point-blank shot. That's a dead... You got... Oh, that was... I'm not pleased with myself on that one. That pushed our healer back to the front. That was poorly done. 14 damage from Dr. Strange, the one person who is kind of getting it done for us, the good doctor from the back row, still delivering the damage. Madeline is holding up okay, given the fact that she's not really designed to be a frontline combatant, but she's bucking up. The God Lion... Oh, I'm sorry, that's Lucy Pevensey. This is Madeline Usher. She's bucking up despite the fact that her brother is, well, full-on fucking crazy-ass whack-a-loon. Madeline is still, she's trying to bring him out of his melancholia. Let's just open vein, what do you say? There we go. So there's a kill for Half-cocked Jack. A little stress relief for him as well. I gotta assume that this is gonna be... Well, it would have been a kill. Let's Weird Reconstruction instead. We got a full 10 heal out of that, but the bleed is real. That's unfortunate. Gonna pile on some stress, and... Ooh, that's a lot of stress. Stress could be a problem. Madeline's is really sort of starting to pile up for us. That's gonna take away some of it. That was a monstrously huge critical. Oh, I had thought we'd... I had assumed that Fungal Scratcher had fatal damage already, otherwise I would have targeted him. That's a mistake. Hopefully it doesn't cost us. Fungal Artillery's out of the picture. That just leaves this Scratcher who will die, regardless of what we do. Let's just Wicked Hack him. Maybe get a little extra stress relief? Nope, no dose. Alright. Get back in order, people. Everyone, places, everybody back to your marks. We've got plenty more scenes to shoot, so, you know. Let's check out this Traveler's Tent. A torch. Actually, quite a haul of loot. That was a goodly chunk of cash there. Alright, we did get scouting, which is fantastic. Alright, so we're going to have a fight in this room as well. The battle's coming fierce and often early on in our trait through this dungeon here. Dr. Strange picking us up a portrait. Half-cocked Jack, of course, is going to be investigating the mushroom pile, but failing to disarm the trap. We do want Half-cocked Jack actually in the front of our party so we can lead things off with a point-blank shot. That's a tactic that I have sort of adopted and have enjoyed some reasonable success with. We're going to burn a couple torches, bring our light level back up. I'm tempted to eat, but I'm not going to. We may camp at the end of this room, actually. Becoming also a strong proponent of the whole camp early theory. We got a surprise here, thanks probably to our torch work. That's good. We're going to, if it bleeds, this... Holy shit! That guy is dead. Straight up dead. Karen Murphy reminding us of the thunderous authority with which she rolls. That was brilliant, Karen. Brilliant. You know, we're just going to open vein and finish him off. He did take fatal damage, but we had, honestly, no other really decent target there. So we're going to have old Doc Strange get patched up with a little Divine Comfort. Dr. Strange may heal himself, since we did get the surprise. I think that's probably his best use of his time. No bleed and 6 heal for Doc. That's good. Point blank shot should finish that guy off. Yeah, there you go. So that just leaves the Fusilier, who's now in the front, where he is not particularly skilled. Taking a rush shot at us and getting nothing out of it. He's going to be bleeding out, and that's fatal damage. It is. So, fatal strike there. Party heal for old Madeline Usher, patching everybody back up. And why not stab a guy in the face, eh, Doctor Strange? That's what I always say. Yeah, another nice little recurved dagger facial stabbing for the Doctor, and another gigantic pile of loot. We are really stacking up the cash, folks. An unlocked strong box. Well, you have the least stress, and these always turn out badly. Except this time when we found treasure. So another citrine and an extra torch. Do we camp? I think not. I think we could easily afford to go one more room without camping. We're in pretty good shape still. One of the reasons I wouldn't mind camping relatively soon, however, is because it will free up an inventory slot for us. Don't get rabies. Alright. Rabies, always kind of a problem here, and we should have swapped Half-Cock Jack back to the front. And now Madeline Usher is rabid. Doctor Strange resisting the rabies, so at least we've got that going for us. I'm going to go with a Grape Shot Blast here, because we're sort of badly positioned to start, and that's going to be our maximum damage potential. Bleed Out does give us the debuff. If it bleeds, does not. Let's go with if it... Karen Murphy. So the enemy's really on to the fact that Murph is kind of our premier damage dealer. They've been very wary of her blows. A lot of dodging coming in here. Abyssal Artillery is interesting, but it only hits one target, so I think we'd be better off just stabbing a bastard in the face. It doesn't get any better than stabbing a guy in the face. That's just the Doctor Strange method. Facial stabbings everywhere. Gonna go for the lunge. That's a kill. Rabid Rush. Doctor Strange. Bitten. Is he rabied? Nope. He is not enrabinated, which is a word I just made up. Karen 0 for 2 on the day, but Doctor Strange critical. Going to take care of any future problems, and our stress has gone down overall so far on the mission, which is outstanding. So our order is already sort of the way we want it. Let's keep walking here. Madeline Usher is a little greedy. Yep. That's what greed gets you, Madeline Usher. When you get greedy, you get nothing out of it. Little karmic retribution there from Madeline. We are going to apply these medicinal herbs to this carcass and pick up some extra food. A ton of extra food. And I think since we have now a hero's feast, I do not see any reason not to consume a part of that feast. So now we have still an abundant supply of food. More than enough to last us for the remainder of the dungeon. Easily more than enough. And given the largesse of food we just found, I think we press on. We could camp there in that room. It is a safe spot, but really I think just sort of pushing forward, still the right answer.
A blazing star is born.
A blazing star is born. Wasn't that like sort of a shitty thing with Barbra Streisand in it? Oh no, that was just A Star is Born. You're right. No one would ever describe Barbra Streisand as blazing. She's pretty much horrible. So a little chop here for our cultist acolyte friend. And he's not going to have time to bleed, much like Jesse the Body Ventura. He ain't got time to bleed because he's missing a head. Not that Jesse Ventura was missing a head, although I think one could make the argument that perhaps Jesse Ventura is missing a head. Anyway, a little facial stabbing there from old Doc Strange. Getting it done for us, and Half-Cock Jack with the finishing blow. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No threat in that one. Straight up victory fight. Do we eat the food? I think we eat the food and take the unguent. So one food for you, and then we will take that poison anti-venom. Did hold useful for us. To investigate that pack, also already looted. Clearly someone has been here before. Taken all of our shit. We picked up scouting. That's fantastic. Next room is empty. I can't believe that the hag would not be here. It seems like it's just too close to the entrance for her to be anywhere else, other than maybe there, but again, that seems pretty unlikely. So let's press on. I'm going to press on in the event that the hag is over here and we wind up having to backtrack. I'm going to try and hold off on camping as long as possible so we can keep our stress as low as is reasonable. I hate checking out these trees. Dr. Strange, could you take a look at that? Oh, treasure in there. Alright. So we are full. So what we're going to do, let's burn 2 torches. We'll max our light.
As the light gains
We have plenty of food. I don't really see any reason to take the medicinal herbs. We're going to leave those behind.
clear.
We will take the gold. Of course we're taking the gold. What is this? Treasure of the Sierra Madre? How could anybody be hungry? We just ate an entire journey's worth of food on the way to this room. You guys are gluttonous pigs, man. You start putting on weight. Nobody wants that. Unhealthy. Here we go. You know what? I'm gonna press on. One more room without camping. So of course I threw away the medicinal herbs. You know what? I think we'll just we'll just leave it. I don't want to risk getting anything negative at this point. Ordinarily, I'm not one for just leaving things uninvestigated, but I think in this case, it was definitively the right choice. The potential drawbacks vastly outweigh any potential benefits. Alright, so our hag is almost certain to be here, and I think at this point, this is where we camp then. So we're going to feast. That's stress relief for everybody, as well as healing, although no one was even sort of remotely hurt. We're going to use bandit scent. No, clean guns, because we want to buff. All of our buff skills are what's going on here. So we're going to go full-on battle trance. We're not going to reject the gods, because no one really needs stress relief. Dark ritual. Nobody's hurt enough to need that. He doesn't have enough stress. Pep talk is not really helpful. Wound care, unneeded. Bless. Bless is real good. 10 accuracy and 10 dodge. Let's give that to... What have you got? She already has extra accuracy and extra damage. You know what? Let's give this to Dr. Strange. The bonus dodge will be helpful. Dr. Strange is one of our healers. And I don't want to concentrate too many buffs on one particular individual, because if that's the person that goes in the pot, we're sort of effed. If they're in the pot and our most buffed person is the one that's in the hole, we have no real use for that. We're also going to pep talk just to make sure our stress relief stays low. Keep on half-cock jack, and then we're going to do bandit sense to make sure we're not ambushed while we sleep. And then it's just time to take a little siesta. So we're going to get out our Speedy Gonzalez hat, do, of course, the traditional dance around the sombrero, and then take ourselves a nice little siesta. You're welcome, Dr. Strange. I'm glad you're enjoying the vittles, buddy. You know, I packed some nice cucumber sandwiches in there, especially for you, Dr. Strange, because I know how much you love cucumber sandwiches. I just, you know... What can I say? I'm too good to you, Dr. Strange. I really am. Let's check out this beast carcass. Got a little food there. That's fine. An extra 8 food is not going to harm anybody. In fact, quite the opposite. And we are going to have a pre-battle room battle here. It's just some maggots, though, so it's not really a problem. We're going to point-blank shot, and there's one dead. That guy got killed 3 times over. Gonna grave nibble, but our extra dodge bonus helping us out there. A chance for Madeline Usher to do a little good work. Madeline scoring herself a kill. And I can't help but feel that you are dead. Yep, there's one adios maggot. So, team enemy doing exactly fuck all there.
So too will resistance.
Not that I'm complaining. I prefer it when they just sort of helplessly lie there and let us beat them to death. Suits me. And a room full of spiders, who are surprised. Excellent. We have every advantage. And I should have had Halfcock Jack in the front spot. In this point, though, that particular mistake isn't necessarily going to hurt us, because Grape Shot Blast really does a number on spiders, as you can see. Completely wrecked their shit. Team Spider never even got to go.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright, you have stress resist, right? So why don't you open the unlock strong box. And loot! 2 more deeds and another portrait. Picking up a goodly supply of portraits here. I'm pretty pleased with that. Alright, so I have to assume then that the Wizened Hag is going to be in this room. So we're going in here with maximum light. Every advantage we can get. We're going to want to try and make sure all of our troopers have maximum health as well. More stashed heirlooms. Man, this dungeon here is Oh, we have a fight. That's fine. It's just 2 spiders, and they are surprised, so I don't imagine they're even going to get a go. They did dodge Halfcock Jack's blast, though, which is remarkable. Well, that one's not going to get a go for sure. Not out of the question that Madeline Usher could get a kill here. She didn't, but, you know, it was a possibility. Facial stab. There we go. So an extra 5 stress relief is what we got out of that fight. In addition to 4 more crests and an extra torch. Which is good, because I'm actually going to burn enough torches to cap our light. Then we'll restock. Alright, now we are going to switch here. I want half-cock Jack in the front for... Do I? Do I want him in the front? We need to change his abilities. I'm actually glad I did that, otherwise I would have completely forgotten to change his abilities. We're going to get rid of point blank, or we're going to get rid of grape shot blast here. We're going to take pistol shot instead. Alright, so that's got half-cock Jack sorted. Now, we could actually get rid of open vein. It's not going to work on the pot, and it doesn't do fantastic damage. We might be better off there with take aim for bonus crit. Or possibly grape shot blast, which could hurt both the pot and the hag. This is a somewhat difficult choice. You know what? I think I'm going to go with... take aim for the extra crit. No, we're going to go with grape shot blast. Dance with the one that brung you, that's what I always say. Legitimately, I actually say that quite often. And this is the hag, so our instincts were good. She was precisely where she expected her to be. We can't pistol shot from the front row. I should have moved us back. Well, let's point blank shot and hit the cot. It does 1 damage, because that thing is almost completely immune to all sources of damage, but that's okay. Should we, if it bleeds? Yes, we should. So let's get a bleed started on the hag. 12 damage and a bleed. That's the way to start things off. Excellent. Somebody's going into the pot. Madeline Usher, our healer, is cooking up in the stew. That's not necessarily a terrible thing, actually. Madeline doesn't contribute a whole lot of damage to that, so having her in the pot is not the worst possible outcome we could have received. We're going to completely vulnerability hex the hag. Damage and a crit also. Well, we didn't get the debuff. I was hoping for the debuff, but we didn't get it. But she is marked, so she will be taking extra damage. We could pistol shot. Or we could duelist advance, which is bonus crit. Which one's more accurate? Alright, so what's our potential here? Between 6 and 12, 5 to 10. It also moves us to the front rank, which we don't necessarily want. Let's go for the pistol shot. Alright, so 7 damage from half-cock Jack. Could have been better, honestly. Don't be suckered into striking the pot. That's a fool's game. Don't hit the pot. Keep hitting the hag. When the hag is dead, the pot's not a problem. Keep piling on the bleed, Karen. Keep piling it on. So she's already marked. Let's go for the facial stabbing. 8 damage from the doctor. So the hag is not in a quality position here. Things are looking pretty grim. She's bleeding 2 points around. Gonna taste the stew, and I have to say, the hag's tongue is fucking horrible. Can you imagine getting a French kiss from the hag? Seriously, the caretaker is into this chick. And you saw that tongue. It tells you, I mean, that guy's got some seriously deviant shit going on in his taste. That's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. Well, there goes the hag. She's dead. Still got a man in the pot. We should probably consider getting Madeline Usher out of the pot, in all honesty. And it looks like Madeline came out of the pot. And the pot is dead. Madeline is not in a good way, however. But we did pick up some fine loot there. So I think what we'll do is eat all the food in the universe. Do we want to continue exploring? We really don't. No, we don't even have room for it. So we're just going to eat all the food with Madeline Usher. Get that out of there. Take our loot, and that's completed. So we picked up a dodge stone, which is actually pretty good, and a speed stone, which is not quite as good, but still reasonable. So our quest to defeat the hag was pretty much a resounding success. I kind of feel we sort of trounced the holy shit out of this dungeon. We pretty much made it our bitch.
Glittering gold.
Not that there's anything wrong with being somebody's bitch. I mean, if you're into that, hey, go for it. We don't really need this anti-venom anymore, nor this key, so let's just take our trinket, which is bad. That's actually not good at all. 10% stun resist for -4 dodge. That's terrible, since you could almost dodge any attack that's going to cause a stun anyway. 900 gold is not nothing, however. But that's got things wrapped up for us. Let's get out of here. Take a look at the accumulated loot we picked up, and I have to feel we probably turned a pretty tidy profit on this little mission. Yeah, so we put together some pretty good ducats there. Easily covered our expenses as well as the upgrades, of which we did quite a few. We actually upgraded a lot of weapons and armor, so making some positive gains here. 3 portraits, 6 deeds, some crests and busts as well. Let's see how we did. All right, so Half-Cock Jack is now level 3, as is Madeline Usher, meaning veteran missions are swiftly going to be on the table. Karen Murphy is a ruins explorer. Guilty conscience. Did you do something on this mission that would cause you to have a guilty conscience, Jack? I don't remember you doing anything that would necessarily warrant a guilty conscience. I mean, you did abandon Madeline Usher in the pod. Is that what you feel guilty about? Is not even helping her at all while she was being stewed alive by a sort of horrible hag woman? I mean, everything worked out okay. I don't know why you should feel guilty about it. It's not like she died. Natural Swing is fantastic. That is a genuinely brilliant ability. Good pickup there for Doctor Strange. And Faded is amazingly good. Not so much necessarily for Madeline Usher, but it is just in general a fantastic ability. But let's head back to town. It would be a little better on, say, you know, Half-Cocked Jack or someone of that nature, but I'm not going to complain about anybody picking up Faded. Chrysania is no longer a gambler. That's good. Is that the only other thing that happened? It is the only other thing that happened. All right. So Chrysania, no longer a gambler. That's other than that, we had a successful mission. And we're going to do some re-ranking here. As you can see, our Premium 3 now ready for veteran missions. And we may actually try a veteran mission on our next run. Assuming we can get the appropriate weapon and armor upgrades. We may take a swing at it. Madeline Usher also, of course, upgraded to rank 3, which is something of a drawback, actually. That just leaves us Chrysania as our only healer, and as you can see, she has more than a slight stress problem. So I think what we'll do, we actually will try a veteran mission then on our next run through. We've got sort of an abundant cash. We can afford to upgrade some weapons and armor for our folks. Let's get Chrysania some stress relief first. What will you do? All you are is light sensitive. Well, let's send you to the brothel? Yeah, that we can afford it. No. Let's not do that. You're a holy woman. Chrysania she's a holy woman. It seems like the transept is where you belong, Chrysania. Go pray to a higher power. One, because it seems, you know, more thematically appropriate. Two, because it's definitively cheaper. So let's go with that route. We have not necessarily enough crescent busts that I really want to consider upgrading there. Can we do a blacksmith upgrade yet? We could do the furnace, which would cost... You know what? Yeah, we're going to be upgrading some weapons and armor, so let's reduce the cost. I think that's a solid pick. Alright, and with that done then, I don't really think there's anything else we sort of have as a priority. I think our next chance is going to be going through on a veteran run through one of the missions. So, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.